Hi everybody, Kimberly here. I mentioned in my last video how I came across these flowers on Megan Heft's channel, and I tried it last night and I really liked the way they came out. I didn't have the same burlap that Megan used, so I used some of the burlap that I had and then some burlap that, or it's not really even burlap, it's more of a cotton trim that I got at Hobby Lobby. And I tried this flower with it today and I really like the way that it turned out. These are the flowers that I made last night, these two and this one with some burlap that I already had. And I also really like the way that they turned out. Now the weave on this burlap is a lot looser than the weave that Megan used, so they do look quite a bit different than hers. Her pile on hers was woven much tighter, so this these are much more delicate than hers were. And this is some burlap tape that I had that I used, and I just folded it over on itself, and then I cut my slits in it, and I'll show you how I made these. And then I also had some wired lace or trim that I used. I've had this, geez, probably for about 12 years. And it's just a ribbon that, it's a pretty fine ribbon and it's only an inch. And it does have wire in the edges of it. And it is pretty small. So when actually, I don't even think it's an inch. No, it's only 3/4. So it's, you know, the width of it is pretty fine. So I just put a very, very, very fine line of hot glue, and then when I trimmed it, I trimmed it up to where the wire was. It is nice having the wire in the edges so that, you know, it's harder to cut through as you're making your pieces, cutting into your pieces, but it is harder to bend the wire. I used a 1.5 inch circle to glue it down. It's much harder to bend that wire around. So what I did on both of these are wire ribbon, is I pulled the wires out. These are my wires here. I just took my pliers, and after I cut all of my little loops, I just grabbed the wires and pulled them out so that it would be easier for me to wrap them or twist them around to get them glued down onto the circles. So let me show you how I did it. Megan's video explains the burlap very well, but like I said, my burlap is much different than hers, and it didn't have wire. So let me collect everything and then I'll show you how I did it. Okay, so my burlap, I get it from the Dollar Tree and it comes like this. It's in the floral department down the aisle where like all of their vases, their floral vases are. They have some silk flowers and their floral butterflies and that kind of stuff are. So it looks like this. It does come in a bunch of different colors, and that's where I got the pink, the natural. I've got some blue and some red, so they've usually got a bunch of different colors. So this is what the packaging looks like. And like I said, the weave is very loose. It doesn't have any wire in it. It does fall apart, so when you're gluing this, and I'm not going to make this one because Megan's video, I'll link it below, she has great instructions. But when you make this, you just simply fold it in half and hot glue it, or you can use a Fabri-Tac glue. I hot glued mine. She hot glued hers for the purpose of video time, but you can use whatever glue works for you. You glue it, and then you cut up to your glue line, or in her case it was wired, so she cut up to the wire. And then both her and I used 2-inch circles. I cut mine off of my Cricut. I think she used the 2-inch circle punch. You can trace something that's about a 2-inch circle, since this ribbon, or I'm sorry, this burlap is, looks like it's 3 inches. I believe hers was 3 inches as well. When you fold it over, you're going to get 1.5 inch, so that's going to determine the size of your flower. Watch her video for that. You're going to get a pretty good size flower. Okay, so the size of your flower is going to be determined by the width of whatever material you're using. Okay, I cut mine about 28 inches long. I did have some left over, and that's how I got this tri-colored flower. I just put the rest of it around another 2-inch circle. It went around one time and then a little bit more. I made a strip of the natural burlap, and I made the mistake of shaking it, and what happened is all of the little cross fibers, these fibers here that go across, there's nothing holding those in. So when I shook it, all of those came out, and it gave it this kind of just like things poking out. There's really nothing holding those loops together now. So it just kind of, which, I mean, it still looks cool. And then the lace that I got from Hobby Lobby in my haul video, I just cut one of those off of that lace and stuck it in the middle. This one I did the same thing. I just cut one of those flower laces off and stuck it in the middle here. Now this one was a little bit different. I can't even tell you where I got this from. It's almost like carpet tape. And I didn't even know that this was tape, but it's burlap, and on the back it has this adhesive tape on it, and you peel this off. You can get it off. And it's sticky. Okay, so I peeled this off. Now that's this flower here. Peeled it off. Let me get this other stuff out of the way so I don't catch it on there. And I just simply folded it over on itself. Folded it in half. All the way down. And it sticks good, so no worries there. Now you're not going to have the loops like you do on the stuff that's not stuck to itself. It's going to be more of a flat flower, which is good if you don't want quite the dimension. Okay. I have an idea of what I'm already going to put these flowers on. I have a 2-inch circle already cut. And then I kind of cut these in different sizes, but I decided after looking at this flower that I like the smaller ones, because then when you go to lay it on the circle, see, these ones are bigger, some of these ones are bigger, like that one. It doesn't spread out as much, so I'm going to cut the one I'm making now smaller all the way down. This is time consuming, so if you don't have a lot of patience for this, I wouldn't recommend this for you. Okay, so you're just going to go down. Be careful not to cut it all the way through, so take your time with it. And when you cut these, it makes it easier to bend too when you're gluing it down. So just go along. Try to keep them small. The lines on the burlap actually help with a sort of grid to help you cut these. And like I said, I don't know where I got this burlap. I decorated my Christmas tree in burlap this last year. I made burlap bows and used burlap as my garland. It seemed like maybe I picked this burlap up for that, but I really can't tell you where I got it because we were at so many different places like Home Depot, Lowe's, because we were able to get a new Christmas tree because our other Christmas tree was looking pretty sad. And we shopped around for it, and I don't remember where I picked this burlap up. And I ended up not using it. I hadn't even opened the package. Unfortunately, I threw away the packaging and I can't find it now. And I don't want to dig through the trash can. But I'm sure you can find this at a craft store. So I'm going to speed this up now so you don't have to painfully watch me cut this all the way down. So I got that all cut. And the project that I have in mind for this one that I'm making now, I think I want to go a little bit bigger than the 2-inch circle. So I have this recycled ribbon cardboard. I just took it off of this. This was just a cording trim from the dollar sprawl at Target, and I just ripped it off of the end. So I think I'm going to use this as my circle because I want it to be just a bit bigger. The piece that I'm going to put it on is a bit bigger piece, and I might be able to use this one as well, but I want this one to be a bit bigger. So I'm just going to start by putting, let me get another glue stick, so I'm going to need it. I'm going to start by putting some glue on the edge. Let me zoom in a little bit. I'm going to put some glue on the edge of here, and I'm just going to go in small sections. Now please be careful not to burn yourself. I've been pretty lucky with this project and I haven't yet. Now this is some pretty stiff stuff, so you have to give it some pretty good, whoops, there goes my glue stick. This glue gun is really on the verge of being replaced because I've had it for so long and it's not heating my glue up all the way, for one thing. Half the time it's not heating my glue up at all. We're just not getting along very well anymore. So I'm just going to go in really, really small sections and give it a twist and hold it down. See, my glue is just not very hot. Sometimes I can put my finger on there and it doesn't even feel warm to me, and then other times it burns me, so I never see. Now this time it feels hotter. I can feel it all the way to the back. So you're going to get gluey fingers doing this, and please be careful. You might get little bubbles in your material, and that's okay. Just push them down as you go. I've lived here my whole life, but I'm getting to the point where I'm just not enjoying the winters that much anymore. You know, I used to ski and do all the outdoor winter stuff most of my life, but I'm just at that point in my life where I'm just done with the cold and the snow. Enjoy the warmer weather so much more. So I'm just going to move in a little bit more, so I'm back on the cardboard. I'm laying this all on cardboard. I'm not laying it on the fabric. I'm just moving it in a little bit more. Okay. I don't want any of the cardboard showing, but I don't want to lay the fabric on top of the fabric. You could use any kind of material for this, any kind of ribbon, any kind of lace material. And I even actually made some this morning after we were done with school with washi tape. I'm going to do a separate video with that because you guys, if you're into washi tape, you are going to love. Let me give you a sneak peek. You are going to love these. How cute is that? That is washi tape. This is fabric washi tape, and this is the Dollar Tree kind of stiffer washi tape. Are those not adorable? So I'm going to do a video on this. This is my next video. So please watch it if you're into washi tape. I love them. Let's finish up this one. We're getting there. More glue. More going around in a circle. So the girls are going to have a fun day today. Their other grandmother, their maternal grandmother, picked them up this morning. And their aunt, their maternal aunt, is in town from Wyoming with their little cousins, and they are all going to the zoo. So they're going to have a fun day. I like it when they get to spend time with their other family, and I feel a bit better because I know that there's more people watching after them than just their mother. And Haley, she has one of her Easter eggs. It's an Easter egg that Papa bought them after Easter at the Dollar Tree, and they have like a clear, it has like an egg stand at the bottom, and then the egg is clear. And she caught a spider in it. That girl, she is just so into animals and bugs. So she came in today after school. They were outside playing, and she came in and she's like, Grandma, I have a pet spider and I named it Charlotte. And I'm like, where is it? Just knowing her, she had it in her hand, or ugh. And I would rather find a snake than spiders. I just don't do well with spiders. I don't do well with any kind of creepy crawly things. If it's at a distance, it's okay, but man, I just, little creepy crawly things, not for me. But she had it in that egg. I asked her, I'm like, did you touch that to get that in that egg? And she says, no, I scooped it. So she took that with her. And her grandma came to pick her up. I'm like, she has a pet spider. And she's bringing it with her. And she goes, oh, what kind of spider? I said, I don't know. So her and her pet spider is going to the zoo today. And that was exactly enough. Yay! I'm not going to have to cut off any, I don't think. If you have extra, that's okay. That's how I made this one. I think I can squeeze all of this in here. Oh, I like the way I see. So this one, I made all of the loops when I cut them, when I cut these strips. Fringe, I guess you could call it fringe. Look how cool that came out. Now these take a while, but you're not going to find anything like this in the store to buy. Now, would I want to sit and make a whole bunch of these? No, probably not. But the thing is you don't need to, because this is a statement piece all in its own. You don't need a whole bunch of these to go on a project. You know, the project, see, and these two are even so different because I was able to put so much more in here. And I can puff this one up like that too. Now I can give this one some dimension. I know it was laying out there kind of flat. But there's nothing delicate about this one. There is about those other burlap ones, but not this one. So see, I can give this one some more dimension as well. It doesn't have to lay flat like that. This was my first one, so it is a little bit wonky. I don't think I'm going to put the lace in the middle of this. I don't know what I'm going to put in the middle of this one. The piece that I'm going to put this on has got some blues and some greens in it, so I have to think about what I want in my center, because I'm not sure. But isn't that cool? I love this one. Okay, so if you were gonna do like this one here, oh, that looks cute, doesn't it? That looks really cute. Huh. What do you guys think of that? That would be cute. So when I did this one, now they do shed. See that one that has the tape on it, that taped burlap, it is shedding. I can feel it getting up into my nose. So this has wire in it. So when I did this, I did the same thing. I just put glue here down the edge. Okay, am I in frame? No, I'm not. Here, let me move this up. So when I did this, when I put glue down that edge and I pressed it, okay, down the edge. Now the thing I found when I did the burlap, remember my burlap didn't have the wire in it, but what I found is the hot glue gave me a nice edge. So my scissors kind of stopped at that edge, and it didn't really want, you know, it gave me that edge so I didn't cut through it, if you understand what I'm saying. So it kind of acted like the wire edge. So let me show you what I mean when I say that I glued it. Fold it over on itself to catch that. So you're only gluing the edge to itself. Okay, this goes really quickly. Again, you can use whatever glue you want, but I find the hot glue works the fastest. Now, if I was to make those burlap ones again, I would get the tighter weave. Only because I think that they'll stay together better. These ones are going to be a bit delicate. Okay, so you do that, and then you just do the same thing. You cut up, and the wire gives you a stopping place so that your scissors won't cut any further than that. And I like that. But the hot glue kind of gives you that same resistance. Okay, so you just keep cutting along. You can cut them in different size loops. Going fast, so mine aren't going to be even, but I'm going to show you a full length of cutting. It kind of looks cool when they're not cut even. We're about halfway there. Get your handwork out for the day. Keep going. Feel the burn. You can cut these as wide or as narrow as you want. Gives your flower different effects, the different widths that you cut it. You can cut them all the same length or the same width, or you can cut them different, however you want it to look. Experiment with different fabrics and different textures. Okay, and there you go. And then what I did, now the wires come out really easy from this ribbon. That pink ribbon, it was a bit easier, or a bit harder. So I grabbed the wire. And you don't have to do this, but I found that it was easier to glue it onto my circle. I just pulled the wire out. Okay. And then when I go to glue it, now if I wanted to put this one on a 2-inch circle, just do the same thing. Put your hot glue on there and glue it around. I don't think you guys need to see me do that again. And then you get a flower. All right, you guys. So that's how you make them. It's the one that we just made. I might have to do that. I'm not sure. What would the pink one look like in there? That would look cute too. I wonder if I should do a blue one for in there. You know, I have some eyelash ribbon that I wonder if I made a flower out of it like this and put it in here, it would go really nicely with the project that I'm thinking of putting this on. I'll have to play. I'll show you guys when I do that, when I finish that project, and you can see what I'm talking about. I liked this one flatter. Okay, so there we go. If you want to see a video for these cute little buggers, watch my next video. Okay, guys? I hope you have a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are in the world. God bless. Thank you. Thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.